Good afternoon. Welcome to the NFL on TSR. We got 3 games on slate today. Got all day football, so I hope you're ready. First game I'm calling, Baltimore taking on Chicago. And big headliner, Lamar Jackson out for the Ravens. Non-COVID related illness. So it will be Tyler Huntley making his first NFL start. So we'll see how that works out. Ravens sit at 6-3, catching the biggest break in the world, maintaining sole possession of the AFC North after the Steelers were only able to muster a tie against the winless Lions, who are technically still winless. So they're looking to try to hold on to first place a little longer with a win today. The Bears just trying to get things on track. They're right now on thin ice, 3-6. Justin Fields, I think, getting the nod. So called his successor, C.J. Stroud, yesterday. Ohio State convincingly beat Michigan State 56-7. I gotta admit, I'm still kind of disappointed because it's just another lopsided college football game that I call, and I'm really questioning if I should continue college football on TSR because every game I've called, except for Georgia-Clemson, has been a lopsided affair, even when it's been top 10 teams. College game day was there. It's just like, it's been a disappointment. But we'll talk about that later. There. So this is a regional action game, but this is the top game on CBS. So people in the markets of Houston, Nashville, Indianapolis, Buffalo, Miami, and New York City, as well as Cincinnati and Las Vegas, you are not watching this game. I gotta really see who all is not getting this. It is not CBS's doubleheader. November 21st. So, markets that are getting this game. So pretty much it's most of Pennsylvania outside of Philadelphia and northern PA. All of Maryland, all of West Virginia, portions of southeast Ohio, northeastern Kentucky, as well as central Kentucky around Louisville. Most of North Carolina outside of Charlotte, as well as most of South Carolina, most of Georgia outside of the northwestern portion of it, most of Florida outside of Miami and Jacksonville, portions of Michigan outside of Detroit and the other side of Michigan, other side of Lake Michigan, closer to Wisconsin, not getting it. Northwestern Indiana getting this game, as well as most of Illinois, except for the southeastern and the southern portions of it. Most of Iowa outside the northern portion of it. Milwaukee's getting this game because the Packers do not play until... Oh, no, they actually do play, but I guess they just decided to air that one. A lot of northwestern Minnesota getting this. Both Dakotas, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, except for the western portion. Portions of Texas around Dallas getting this, as well as far western as El Paso. Most of New Mexico getting this game. All of Colorado getting it. Portions of Wyoming getting it. All Montana getting this. All of Washington getting this. Most of Oregon, except for the southeastern region around Eugene, not getting this game. Parts of western Idaho getting this game around the Boise market, and all of Arizona and part of southeastern California is getting this game. So it's still a decent sized market. And the late game for Dallas, Kansas City, everyone except for people in Arizona and southeastern California. Most of northern and western Montana, just about all of Idaho, portions of far western Wyoming, Oregon, Washington, and the furthest northern part of California not getting Dallas, Kansas City. That's right now, while we got some time, about 24 minutes to kick off. Let's see the actives and inactives for this game. Well, first, actually, before I do that, let's take a look at what teams are going to be rocking today. In Baltimore, Chicago, it'd be Ravens rocking the white jerseys and the purple pants. Bears rocking the dark navy and the white pants. Out in Cleveland, the Lions wearing the white jerseys, silver pants. Browns, brown jerseys, white pants. To Minnesota we go. Packers rocking the white jerseys, yellow pants. Vikings, purple jerseys, white pants. Houston rocking the white jerseys with the dark navy pants. And Tennessee with the navy jerseys and the light blue pants. Colts going all white for this one. Bills, blue jerseys, white pants. Out in the Meadowlands, Dolphins going all white for this one. Jets going with the green jerseys, white pants. In New Orleans, Saints going white jerseys, white pants. Eagles going the color rush, all black. 49ers going white jerseys, gold pants. Jaguars, teal jerseys, white pants. Washington and Carolina. Washington going all white for this one. Panthers going all black for this one. The late games today, the Bengals going white jerseys, black pants. Raiders going black jerseys, silver pants. Cardinals going white jerseys, pants still to be determined. Seahawks going all navy. The game I'll be calling later on today, the Cowboys-Chiefs. Cowboys going white jerseys, silver pants. And the Chiefs are going red jerseys, white pants. Game tonight in Los Angeles. Steelers going white jerseys, gold pants. Or I should say yellow. So avoid confusion. Chargers going powder blue jerseys and white pants. And then tomorrow night, Giants going with their color rush white jerseys and white pants, and the Bucs going red jerseys, white pants. So now let's roll into active inactives for today. We'll start off with New Orleans, Philadelphia. For the Saints, inactive. Quarterback Ann Brook. Running back Alvin Kamara. Right tackle Ryan Ramczyk. Left tackle Teron Armstead. Tight end Juwan Johnson. Wide receiver Ty Montgomery. And defensive end Tano Kapasagan. I may have pronounced that wrong. Eagles inactives. Quarterback Reed Sinnett. Running back Kenneth Gainwell. Defensive back Kerry Vincent Jr., cornerback Tay Gowen, and defensive tackle Marlon Tuipulotu. Say that 10 times fast. All right, to the Meadowlands, Dolphins, Jets. Inactive for the Dolphins, cornerback Noah Imbinoye. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get that last name right, sorry. Running back Savon Ahmed, linebacker Darius Hodge, tight end Hunter Long, and defensive tackle John Jenkins. For the Jets, inactive, quarterback Zach Wilson, running back LaMichael Perrine, offensive lineman Isaiah Williams, defensive lineman Jonathan Marshall, defensive lineman Tim Ward, safety Jared Wilson, and cornerback Rashad Wildgoose. Actually, an interesting last name, Wildgoose. All right, Washington's inactives. Wide receiver Curtis Samuel. Wide receiver Antonio Gandy Golden. Cornerback Corn Elder. Defensive end Shaka Tony. Tackle Shaheed Charles. Tight end Ricky Seal Jones. For the Panthers, quarterback Matt Barkley. Wide receiver Shi Smith. Safety Kenny Robinson. Cornerback Rashawn Melvin. And defensive tackle Phil Hoskins. That's Hoskins. Out to Buffalo, inactives for the Colts. Tackle Julian Davenport. Guard tackle Will Fries. Running back Marlon Return of the Mac. Wide receiver Mike Strachan. And defensive tackle Antoine Woods. For the Bills, inactives. Wide receiver Jake Kumaro. Linebacker Tremaine Edmonds. Cornerback Cam Lewis. And offensive lineman Bobby Hart. Inactives in Cleveland for the Lions. Wide receiver Trinity Benson. Linebacker Trey Flowers. Quarterback Jared Goff. Running back Jamar Jefferson. Linebacker Jesse Lemonier. Tackle Matt Nelson and kicker Riley Patterson. For the Browns, inactive. Wide receiver Anthony Shorts. Wide receiver Donovan Peoples-Jones. Cornerback Troy Hill. Cornerback A.J. Green. Not to be confused with the Cardinal wide receiver A.J. Green. Defensive end Takaris McKinley. Defensive end Afedi Odenigilbo. Don't know how to pronounce that. I apologize. And defensive tackle, Sheldon Day. Roll down to Jacksonville. Inactives for the 49ers. Defensive lineman Maurice Hurst. Running back Jamichael Hasty, or as their announcer would call him, Hasty Tasty. No, not having that. Running back Elijah Mitchell and offensive lineman Colton McKivitz. For the Jaguars, inactive. Running back Divine Ogzigbo. Cornerback Trey Herndon. Linebacker Dakota Allen. Tight end Jacob Hollister. And linebacker / defensive end Jordan Smith. Let's roll to Nashville now. Inactive for the Texans. Quarterback Deshaun Watson. Quarterback Jeff Driscoll. Running back Royce Freeman. Wide receiver Davian Davis. Tight end Jordan Atkins. Defensive lineman Jonathan Greenard. And defensive back Cravon LeBlanc. For the Titans, inactive. Running back Jeremy McNichols. Tight end Jeff Swaim. Guard Nate Davis. Linebacker David Long Jr. Linebacker Rashawn Evans. Cornerback Greg Mabin. And cornerback Janoris Jenkins. In Minnesota, inactive for the Packers. Running back Aaron Jones. Wide receiver Malik Taylor. Wide receiver Alan Lazard. Tackle David Bacardi. Defensive lineman Jack Heflin. They send it like Jeff, that's why. Repeat it. Linebacker Rashawn Gary and safety Vernon Scott. In Minnesota, quarterback Kellen Mond. Wide receiver Amir Smith Marset. Cornerback Harrison Hand. Linebacker Chaz Surratt. And guard Wyatt Davis. Game I'm about to call right now. Inactives for this one. For the Ravens, as I mentioned on top of the show, Lamar Jackson out. Inactive. Wide receiver Marquise Hollywood Brown. Wide receiver Miles Boykin. Tackle Cedric Ogbuhi. Nose tackle Brandon Williams. Cornerback Anthony Averett. And defensive back Jimmy Smith. For the Bears, inactive. Quarterback Nick Foles. Running back Damian Williams. Wide receiver Allen Robinson. Tight end Jesper Horsted. Defensive tackle Akeem Hicks. Cornerback Artie Burns. And safety Eddie Jackson. I don't think they have the list for the rest of the day yet. About 15 minutes to kick off. So let's look at some tails of the tape for this game upcoming in Chicago. Just the facts. The Ravens, each of the Ravens' 3 losses this season have been against teams that are outside of the playoffs entering this week. 2 of the 6 wins have come against current playoff teams. Bye week hangovers for the Bears. The Bears are 0-7 in their games following their bye week since 2014. And the Chicago 7-game drought is the longest since the Raiders lost 10 straight post-bye games from 2003 to 2012. Interconference dominators. The Ravens have won 12 straight games versus the NFC, the longest active streak in the NFL. Here's the point for the Bears. The Bears have allowed 24 points or more in each of their 6 losses this season, allowed 17 or fewer in their 3 wins. Action Jackson, which no longer going to be a factor because he's out. Lamar Jackson has accounted for 82.8% of Baltimore's offense this season. Eli Manning, the only quarterback in the Super Bowl era to account for 80% of their team's offense and win a Super Bowl that season. That was in 2011. So as a starter for Justin Fields' first 3 games, completed 50.9% of his passes, 137.7 passing yard and rushing yards per game, 1 pass and 1 rushing touchdown, 71.4% passer rating, and 1 giveaway. The last 4 games, though, starting to find his groove. 64.3% completions, 263.3 passing and rushing yards per game, 4 passing and rushing touchdown, 72.5% passer rating, 8 giveaways. What history says. Baltimore started 6-3 or better for the 7th time in the Harbaugh era. All right, here we go. Finished with 10-plus wins, made playoffs in each of the previous occurrences. Pardon my takeaway. Bears have 7 takeaways and 3 wins this season, 2 in their 6 losses. So if they get the turnover battle, look for them to claim victory here. If they turn it over a lot, it could be a long day for them. And inside the numbers, the Ravens have averaged 45 points per game and allowed 10 points per game in their last 2 games against a team that was coming off a bye. So something to keep tabs on this one. So some other insights from action elsewhere. For the Washington and the Panthers, Panthers have allowed 173.7 passing yards per game this season, the fewest in the NFL. 49ers Jaguars for Jimmy Garoppolo, 109.8 passer rating since Week 8, the highest in the NFL. Packers Vikings, Devontae Adams, 5 receiving touchdowns in 2 games against the Vikings in 2020. Saints Eagles, 32.7 points per game since Week 8, second most in the NFL. Texans Titans won 6 straight games, longest single season streak since 2008. Lions Browns, Lions have won 4 straight games against the Browns. The last time they've lost was 2001. Colts Bills have allowed fewer than 24 points in 8 games this season, tied for most in the NFL. Dolphins Jets, Dolphins have won 6 of the last 7 games against the Jets. Later on today, Bengals Raiders, home teams 7-1 in this matchup since 1998. The only one that wasn't a home team favor. 2015, Bengals defeated the Raiders on opening day. Cowboys, Chiefs. Chiefs have won 10 straight games versus the NFC. Cardinals, Seahawks. Cardinals 30 points in each of the 5 road games this season. Tonight, Steelers, Chargers. Steelers, one of 2 undefeated teams since week 5. And Monday night, Giants, Buccaneers. Bucks 4-0 this season at home. 2-3 on the road. So their last home loss came Thanksgiving weekend against the Chiefs last year. Now, it was a game I called here on Twitch. Thursday night scored the Patriots shut out the Falcons 25-0. It was the first time the Falcons have been shut out at home since week 6, 1988. Really going into the history books there. When the Falcons were still rocking the red helmets. That was life before Deion Sanders. That was when they were playing at Fulton County Stadium, which got demolished August 97. To week 6. That was against the LA Rams. Went on to become a wild card team. All right, kickoff in just a little bit here on your home for the NFL. Ravens right now in the driver's seat in the AFC North, 6-3 after the Steelers could only muster a tie last week. In terms of the conference, they sit at number 3 behind the Bills and the Titans. Bills at 6-3 in action right now with the Colts. And the Titans sitting at 8-2. Meanwhile, for the Bears, 3-6, third in the NFC North. Right now sitting at amidst a 4-way tie, 3-6 in the NFC, and a game and a half back of the Panthers, who right now hold the last playoff spot. The Bears have also been on a slump recently. As they have dropped their last 4 games, all 3 of the 4 by double digits. Of course, last Monday night, well, 2 Monday nights, I should say. So last Monday it was Rams 49ers. They were beaten by double digits. The Steelers had to sweat it out against the Bears at 29-27. King Savage brought in the building. Why am I not surprised to see you here? No Lamar. Yeah, I know. So it's going to be Tyler Huntley taking the reins, which makes me wonder if I now should regret making the Ravens my lock of the week against the Bears. No. All right, we'll kick it off when we return on your home for the NFL. Ravens looking to make it 2 in a row on TSR as they sit at 1-5 all time. 1-1 this season. Lost that Monday nighter to Las Vegas after leading 14-0 early on. Came back a week later, rallied from 11 down to beat the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. Bears 0-1 all time. Lost to the Buccaneers 38-3 4 weeks ago. The first game I am calling the Bears in Chicago, so that now makes all Chicago teams I called in Chicago. I called White Sox game in Chicago, August 2020. Lost to the Royals, called the Cubs on Sunday Night Baseball. Best remembered for Beer Snake. 2 Blackhawk games in Chicago. Now this is, we are underway in Chicago. And no return for the Ravens, as it will be Tyler Huntley, not Lamar Jackson, taking the field today. Jackson out with illness, as I keep talking about on top of my show, as well as in the inactives. So first career start for Huntley. Okay. I'm going to have to... Huntley in the shotgun it. Called left side. Up to about the 30-yard line. That is number 33. I didn't catch who number 33 is. It was a gain of 6. Devontae Freeman. Second and 4. Huntley in the shotgun. Calls to Freeman left side. Freeman's with a first down, a little more. Up to about the 40-yard line. That's going to move the chains. All right, Huntley coming out in the shotgun. Bears 105 rushing yards allowed last game against Pittsburgh. Fewest since playing in Vegas in Week 5 as Huntley keeps it, gets about a yard. For the Ravens, 1 opening drive touchdown in last 10 games. Huntley in the shotgun. Drops, looks, fires, passes, caught. That's Watkins past midfield, and he'll move the chains. We'll call it the Chicago 47. They're actually called the 48. Huntley in the shotgun. And call was to Murray, and he ends up losing a yard. Second and 11. Huntley in the shotgun. Play action. Looking. Fires pass. Incomplete off the hands of Patrick Ricard. And that'll set up 3rd and 11. I think he just threw it in there before Ricard was even ready for it. Oh, no, he just threw it a little too far outside, and Ricard had to extend, trying to make a one-handed catch. It just couldn't happen. Third and 11. Huntley in the shotgun. Drops back. Looking. Pressure coming. He has to step up. Looking. And he's going to be taken down at the 49 of the Ravens. I don't know who got there. It looked like number 94, the Bears. That is... I'll get a better look. Yep, 94 was the one who got him. So that will send out Sam Cook to punt it away. And punts off. I'll take a Raven bounce right around the 13-yard line. And that's where Justin Fields and crew will take control. Let's see if I can find out who number 94 of the Bears is. Bears start up when we get back here on your home for the NFL. Back in Chicago, Bears taking over at their 13-yard line. By the way, the sack was made. I'll make that the 14-yard line. The sack was made by Robert Quinn. Let's get our first look at Justin Fields as he's in the shotgun on 1st and 10. And he'll keep himself going to the left side. Get it up to the 20, about the 22-yard line. Eight-yard gain. Colts, Panthers, Dolphins striking first. On them up 7-0. Fields in the shotgun. Drops. Looking. Fires. Passes. Caught. Up to around the 27-yard line. That's number 17. That is Jakeem Grant, and he's going to move the chains. Fields behind center. Calls to Montgomery, right side, plowing through, getting close to the marker. Not quite there. It's up 2nd and 1. Fields into shotgun. Play action. Rolling to his right. Pressure coming. Fires. Passes. Caught! First down for the Bears. That is number 11. Darnell Mooney. Oh, my goodness. What a catch. Well, let's see. 1, 2. What? Couldn't see if he got his second foot down. Fields had to jump to throw that one. .34. Calls to Montgomery. Maybe a yard. They're going to call it 2nd and 8. Fields behind center. Pitches it out. And this is Grant. Grant getting the first down a little more. It's around the 22-yard line. That's going to move the chains. First down and 10. Well, they're going to call it 21. Fields in the shotgun. Looking. Pressure coming. Has to throw it away. I'll set up 2nd down. Fields in the shotgun. Play, and they give it to Montgomery. Montgomery stumbling up to about the 16. What's it up? 3rd and 5. Third down and 5. Fields in the shotgun. 3 rushes for 16 yards for David Montgomery. And he'll get the call right here, right side, and nowhere to go! As that's Patrick Queen taking him down for a 5-yard loss, and the Bears are going to have to settle for a field goal. The Raven defense stepping up when it matters most. Good job snuffing that one out. Be Cairo Santos from 39 yards. Made 38 straight. I'll make this 40 yards. That kick up and no, he did not get! And the Ravens catch a break! Oh my goodness! Billy Cundiff challenges Chicago. 5:59 to go in the first. No score on your home for the NFL. Scores to go down right now. Right now, 7:50. Oh. 7:53 to go in the opening quarter, and Carolina Panthers up 7-0 on a DJ Moore touchdown reception from 10 yards out. Minnesota and Green Bay tied at 3. Mason Crosby hitting a 54-yard that game with 9:14 to go in the opening quarter. Colts lead the Bills 7-0 on a Jonathan Taylor touchdown run. Which now makes it 8 straight games he's had a touchdown run. Tied second longest in Indianapolis history. And the Dolphins leading the Jets 7-0 on a Jalen Waddle touchdown run. First of his career. Back in Chicago, the Ravens taking over after the missed field goal at the 22. Not 30, sorry. The Bears were able to get inside the red zone, but the Raven defense stepping up when it mattered most. And then Cairo Santos unable to hit the field goal from 40 yards out. He missed it wide left. Let's see what Tyler Huntley and crew can do. Now, Ravens a path a game on Pittsburgh and a game on Cincinnati. However, Cincy does have the tiebreaker. So they got to keep tabs on them. Huntley in the shotgun. Drops. Looks. Fires. Passes. Caught. That's Freeman. Getting about a yard on the play. Huntley in the shotgun. And calls to Freeman. Freeman and Trolley goes down. Back at the 18-yard line. And that is Smith on the tackle. Raquan Smith. So 3rd and 12. Huntley in the shotgun, drops back, fires, passes, by Andrews with the one-handed catch. Oh my goodness! I'm gonna end up wearing that line out with how many big plays are being made. Oh, with the one-handed grab. It looked like the 35. Let me see where it is. Up 44. Calls the free. Make that Murray. It's at the 48-yard line. I'll get gain of 4. We're coming up on 3.5 to play here in the opening quarter. No score. Glad you could join us here on TSR today for this first of 3 games that I am calling today. Huntley in the shotgun. Calls the Murray. Gets maybe a yard. And the Ravens will have to face another 3rd down. Eagles leading the Saints now 7-0. 3rd and 5. Huntley in the shotgun. Drops back. Looking at the screaming to his left. And he lost it! The ball goes out of bounds as Quinn sacks and strips Huntley, but couldn't get a recovery as the ball went out of bounds, but it'll be 4th down. Got to protect the football. I think Huntley just lucky it went out of bounds. 2nd sack of the game for Quinn as Cook set the punt it away. And Grant getting away from it. And they'll down at the 19-yard line. Justin Fields and crew back to work. 1:55 to go in the opening quarter. No score here on your home for the NFL. We're down the out-of-town scoreboard. Real quick. Out-of-town scores in Jacksonville. The 49ers leading it 3-0 with 37 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Philadelphia, the Eagles leading the Saints 7-0 with 7:17 to go in the opening quarter. Meanwhile, back in Chicago, Bears taking over after forcing another Raven punt. Big play by Robert Quinn, forcing the fumble, and Tyler Huntley, it went out of bounds. Second sack of the game, both of them on third down. Let's see how Justin Fields and crew answer. Well, they actually start at the 20, not the 19. Fields in the shotgun. And Fields is going to keep it himself, get about 3 yards on the play. Fields behind center on 2nd and 7. Drops back, looking, fires, passes, incomplete. Looks like he was trying for Mooney. It looked like he just wasn't ready for it. Yeah, it looked like Mooney just wasn't expecting it until it was too late. Fields third down passing, 55.8% completion, but 5 interceptions. 3rd and 7. Drops back, looking, fires, passes, incomplete. Was trying for number 84. That is Marquise Goodwin. And nothing going for the Bears this drive. So Patrick O'Donnell set the punt away. Devin DuVernay back. And the punt's away. From the 24, DuVernay slipped, got back up. They'll get it up to about the 31-yard line. And that is where the Ravens will take over. Ravens all-time at Soldier Field, 0-3. 2-1 at M&T Bank Stadium. We'll step aside. Under a minute to go in the opening quarter. Still no score on your home for the NFL. Back at Chi-Town, the Ravens take it over after forcing a 3-and-out. So Ravens have had 2 punts. Bears, 1 punt and a missed field goal, so nothing going this open court for either side. And Huntley coming back out. Ravens just 32 yards and 2 drives. Both times ended with Huntley getting sacked by Robert Quinn on 3rd down. Calls to Freeman left side. Gets up to about the 35-yard line. Jackson in the shotgun on 2nd and 6. And calls to Freeman. Trying to weave to the right side. Will only get a yard. So 3rd down. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Played 15 minutes out in the Windy City. No score here on your home for the NFL. Start of the second quarter here in Chicago. No score. The Ravens facing 3rd and 5 from 36. Huntley in the shotgun. I'll make that 3rd and 4. Swings it out there. Pass is caught. That's Freeman. He's got 1st down a little more. Up to about the 47-yard line. So the Ravens getting it done on 3rd down. Robert Quinn, 8.5 sacks this season. He has 2 today. As Huntley gets it out, that's caught by Andrews right around the 45. Getting it to the 50 over into Chicago territory at the 49. Score update, Green Bay, Minnesota Vikings taking a 9-3 lead. That game, 1:48 to go in the first quarter. Dalvin Cook running it in. Second and 1. Huntley in the shotgun. Calls to Murray up the gut. He's got a first down, a little more. Up to the 44-yard line. Browns lead the line 7-0. Now the Niners up 10-0 on the Jaguars. Huntley in the shotgun. Handoff. This is Murray trying to go up the gut and get out to the 40-yard line. Bears defense this year, 23rd against the run, 10th against the pass, 12th overall. Well, tied for 23rd against the rush, tied for 12th overall. Huntley in the shotgun. Play action, rolling to his left, in trouble, he's going to go down! I don't know who the first guy to get in there was. It looked like he was finished off by number 22, Kendall Vilder. Let's take a look. And it may have all been Vilder. He was the first one to get in there. May have gotten some help from, let's see, number 97, Mario Edwards. Ended up being a loss of 3. That put him back in the Raven territory. Gets it out to Andrews. Flag is down. Let's say Chicago 47. I'm sorry, Chicago 47, not Raven 47. That was out to Edwards. Mark it. Oh, no, Andrews, excuse me. Not Edwards. Sean Smith, referee, illegal shift on the Ravens, but they're going to probably decline this. Oh, never changed this. Now, 4th down, I think you got 2 yards. It looks like they're going to go for it. 4th and 5 from the 39. I mean, you do have Justin Tucker, but you got to roll the dice here. Huntley in the shotgun, empty backfield. Could just be trying to get him to go offside. It looks like this was all just to see if they could draw him offside. They could not. So the Ravens, or they're going to take a delay game and try to punt it. And, yep, they're going to take the delay game. That's going to knock them back to the 44. Eagles now up 14-0 following Jalen Hurts' touchdown run. Cook set to punt it away. And kicks away. And inside the 10, it got over. Oh, he couldn't down it! It'll go in for a touchback. Oh! Tylan Wall is right on the doorstep, but he couldn't get there. He was unable to down it. Bears take over at the 20. Still no score in your home for the NFL. Score updates now. In the second quarter, 49ers leading the Jaguars 10-0 on Deebo Samuel, 25-yard touchdown rush. Dalvin Cook's 1-yard touchdown run put the Vikings up 9-3. Extra point no good. Jalen Hurts' touchdown run put the Eagles up 14-0. That game with 2:02. They go in the opening quarter. In the second quarter, Texans leading the Titans 3-0 on a Fairburn field goal from 43 yards. Browns up 7-0 on the Lions. That game just a little bit into the second quarter. 12:53 to go in the second. It's now Colts 14, Bills nothing. And starting the second quarter, Jets and Dolphins tied at 7. Back in Chicago, Bears starting at the 20-yard line. Ravens, Tylan Walls looked like he was in position to pin him inside the 10, but he misplayed the ball, and the ball went past him into the end zone for a touchback. Game summary, 5 drives, 4 punts, and a missed field goal. Nothing going here early on. Fields in the shotgun. Oh, no, excuse me, behind center. And this is Montgomery going up the gut. He'll get a first down up to the 30-yard line. Well, last time the Ravens were in Chicago, that was remembered for the Lightning game, the Lightning delay. Took about like 2 hours. And the 1 o'clock finish, it didn't finish up till closer to the time the late games finished up. Left side, this is Montgomery. Or actually at the 31, he got up to about the 36-yard line. Set up 2nd and 5. Two rushing touchdowns today by Jalen Hurts, putting the Eagles up 14-0. Well, right up until the last meeting in this series, it has been dominated by the home teams. Until 2017 when the Bears took it in overtime in Baltimore, 27-24. Having a hand in the Ravens missing the playoffs that year. Fields drops back, looking, fires, passes, caught! And that's Goodwin up to the Raven 41. That's going to move the chains. The Bills coming back. They cut the deficit to 14-7. On the second play of the game for 20 or more yards, Fields had a completion earlier that got him in the Raven territory for 20-plus yards. And it caused the Montgomery up to about the 36. Second and 5. Fields in the shotgun. Pressure coming. He lost it! And the Ravens get it! Guys, who you got it? Number 93. I think that's Calais Campbell. Yes, it is. And the Ravens with the first big play of the game for... I couldn't see who knocked it out. Oh, 54. Looks like they spot chatted him. That is Tyus Bowser. Ravens defense stepping up to the occasion. 8:27 to go in the half. Still no score on your home for the NFL. Back in Chicago, the Ravens defense making a big play as they force the Fields fumble. Recovered by Calais Campbell. We'll see if they can capitalize on it. 3 drives, 3 punts. Bears having a missed field goal now. The fumble for Fields has not fumbled this season. For the Ravens, their 8th takeaway of the season, first since week 7. As Huntley will keep it, get maybe 2 on the play. AFC bullet point entering this week. 11 teams with 5 or 6 wins. 3 of the 4 division leaders have lead of 1/2 game. NFC teams in playoff position went 4-9 in weeks 9 and 10. Those teams with current streaks of 2 games or more. Interesting. Huntley in the shotgun on 2nd and 8. Drops back, looking, fires passes, caught, but taken down immediately. That was DuVernay. Roquan Smith was right there. Loss of 2 on the play. The Ravens have ran 6 plays for negative yards. Bears just 1. Ravens 2 of 5 on 3rd downs. Their average yards to go 9. This is from 10. Fields, Huntley in the shotgun house to scramble to his left. Take it off with it. 40, 45, 50 up into Bear territory at the 47. That's going to move the chains. The pressure was coming. He had to roll to his left. Eluded one tackler, and it was able to get into Bears territory. That 19-yard run was the longest play of the game for the Ravens. First down and 10. Huntley in the shotgun. Calls to Freeman. Wrights nowhere to go. Niners now up 17-0 as Garoppolo found Brandon Ayuk for a 6-yard touchdown. Excuse me. Huntley in the shotgun. Drops back. Pressure coming. Fires it. Passes. Caught. That's Andrews. Right at the 36. That's going to move the chains. With the pressure coming. Mark Andrews making some clutch catches today. This one was a sliding one. 4 targets, 4 catches, 44 yards. Huntley in the shotgun on 1st and 10. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in the first half. Rolling to his right, looking, fires, passes, caught. Andrews again, and Andrews again will have a first down. Good job rolling to his right, then throwing back to the left. Good job drawing the defense. First and 10, Huntley in the shotgun, empty backfield. 8 straight completions for him. Drops, looks, fires, passes, caught. It's slipping is number 12. That is Rashad Bateman. So he ended up only getting 2 on the plays. He tried to cut back. He slipped. Huntley drops back, fires, passes, caught. Right around the 21-yard line. It's Murray. Let's set up 3rd and 6. Or 3rd and 5. Ravens 3 of 6 on 3rd down. Huntley in the shotgun. Rolling to his left. It looks like he's going to keep it. Huntley. Yeah, he's going to be just short of the first down. He gets 3 on the play. That's going to bring out Tucker. And we'll see if he can get the first point to the game. So one looked like a 35-yard attempt. Santos missed it from 40, so let's see if Tucker has any better luck from 35. From the left hash. Snap. Kick. Up and good. As it looked like the wind pushed it back at the last moment. And the Ravens will draw first blood. .2:11 to go in the half. It's Ravens 3, Bears nothing on your home for the NFL. Ravens able to cash in on a turnover for 3 points and draw first blood in this one. 35-yard field goal attempt by Justin Tucker. And we'll be set to kick this one off. And here's the kick. That's going to be returned up to the 10, to the 20, about the 21-yard line, as that's number 24, Khalil Herbert. Oh. First and 10, 21. Fields in the shotgun. Calls to Montgomery. No, he's going to keep it himself left side up to the 25 to about the 26-yard line. And we hit the 2-minute warning here in Chicago. Ravens 3, Bears nothing, and this is your home for the NFL. Back in Chicago, final 2 minutes of the quarter. Bears got it to 26. Oh, it looks like 27. Correct that. Bears missed field goal, a punt, and a fumble has been their storyline today. Here in the first half, Fields in the shotgun. Drops back, fires past too high, trying for Goodwin. Missed field goal by Kyrus Santos. And then the fumble, leading to the only point of the game thus far. Well, Bears running 19 plays, 117 yards. Ravens 30 plays, 111 yards of offense. Ravens have time of possession battle of 19 minutes. 14 seconds. The Bears 8 minutes. 11. Fields drops back. Pressure coming. He's going to go down! And as Tyus Bowser, a flag comes out. Let's see what this is all about. Oh, they're going to get the Ravens for holding. So instead of it being 4th down and getting another chance to get the points before the half, they end up giving the Bears a free first down. It looked like Marlon Humphrey's the guilty party. And that negated a 9-yard sack. So Fields in the shotgun with new life. Drops back, hand off to Montgomery, gets up to the 36-yard line. Now Fields still in the shotgun. Drops back, looking, fires, passes, incomplete. Tried for Mooney. Now set up 3rd and 6. Mooney could not get his hands on it. Third and 6 upcoming. Fields in the shotgun. Drops back. Pressure coming. Fires. Passes caught. Now Mooney had it. They're going to roll it incomplete. So despite new life given to the Bears, they could not capitalize on it. And with 77 seconds left, Ravens with a chance to try to get some points before the half. The Bears do get the ball to start the second half. So if they can try to hold them to at worst a field goal, they're still in this game. And O'Donnell punting it away. DuVernay from the 24. Rolling to his left side, gets to the 30, trying to get to the sideline. Out of bounds at the 36. Good return for the Ravens. 67 seconds left in the half. It's Ravens 3, Bears nothing on your home for the NFL. Back in Chicago, the Ravens taking over at the 36 after another punt by the Bears. They could try to pad the lead just a little more before the half, especially because they're kicking off to start the second half. The Bears still with all three of their timeouts. So you can get a stop. Enough time, they might be able to try to get some points of their own before the half. Huntley drops back, fires pass, incomplete, try for Watkins. They got to be careful if they do plan on passing the ball. Make sure it's not incomplete every time, because then you not only take little time off the clock, you help the Bears preserve all their timeouts, and they could get something going of their own. So, got to try to keep it completed, stay in the field of play. The pass is caught, and that's Bateman. Bateman's going to get a first down right around the 46. And the Ravens are going to take a timeout with 53 seconds left. We'll take a timeout. We'll take a timeout. 53 seconds to go here on your home for the NFL. .55 seconds to go in the second. They put 2 more seconds back on the clock. Ravens got it at their 48-yard line, 1st and 10. They got to get to the Chicago 38 to get into field goal range. Huntley in the shotgun. Fires, passes, incomplete. Zinged it in there too hard for DuVernay. DuVernay just couldn't catch it. Huntley drops back, looking, fires, passes, incomplete, just a little underthrown to Rashad Bateman. That's going to set up 3rd down. And just threw it a little too low for him. He was trying to get him sliding in there, but it just didn't work out. 3rd and 10. Huntley in the shotgun. Drops back. Fires, passes, caught. That's DuVernay. DuVernay's, he got the first. It's close. Let's see where they mark it. No, he's going to be just short. The 39, so let's see. Well, that angle doesn't really do us any good because we didn't see where the ball was. And they're going to go for it on 4th and 1. Or so we thought. Looks like we'll call a timeout. 41 seconds left. Why did I say Baltimore 39? I think I was just hustling. Oh, they're going under review. My guess is to determine the spot. And it looks like it will remain. Oh, that's still under review. Let's listen in. Yeah, from the looks of it, it's going to be 4th and 1.
Take a look. Because you can't tell where that front foot is. But when you go in on the other side, and that's what they do. They bring these angles together. Gene, you there?
I sure am, Tony. Yep, and you're doing a great job with it. Also, remember, as soon as that foot hits out, it's where the ball is crossing the sideline, where the out of bounds when that player.
And it looked like he was short.
It's the position of the football, not that foot, and you hit it right on the head. I believe he's a half-yard shot. I think it's going to be.
You're right, because the ball is in this hand right up here, and that foot's there.
I don't know that's the proper angle to be showing. It's like he was circling area.
Last time Baltimore played here was 8 years ago, 2013. In the game, because of threatening weather, like tornado warnings in the area.
The ruling on the field stands.
Yep. Took over 5 hours and 50.
Yep, that was what I was talking about. Severe weather. The last time the Ravens were in Chicago, a game that the Bears eventually took in overtime. So let's see what they're going to do from here. It'd be a 61-yard try for Tucker. And we have already seen his range this season. But remember, that was indoors. Outdoors in Chicago, I don't know. I mean, they do have 42 seconds left in the half, but if he misses it, Chicago gets good field position. They're going to go for it. Huntley in the shotgun. He's going to keep it himself. Left side. He's got the first down and more. Up to the 35-yard line. That's going to keep the chains moving. And they go no huddle. Huntley in the shotgun. Drops, fires, passes, caught. That's Bateman. Bateman getting up to the 21-yard line. And gets out of bounds. So the Ravens moving the ball efficiently. Still with 2 timeouts. Playbook still open. Browns lead 13-0. Texans were up 12-0, I saw, so definitely a shocker there. Huntley in the shotgun, drops back, looking, fires, passes, caught. That's Andrews in the field of play. Then I imagine they're going to use their timeout there. A 3-yard gain. Second and 8 upcoming. Huntley in the shotgun. Drops, fires, passes. Caught. That's Freeman. Freeman getting up to about the 10-yard line. Stayed in bounds, though. And I'll call it first and goal. Ravens going to, I imagine, take one shot at the end zone. No timeouts left. Drops back, fires, passes, incomplete. Oh, I forgot to change this all. Oh, sorry, that was originally. Oh, no, I was right. And this will bring out Tucker, who is basically an old school extra point. 27 yards. On the right hash this time. Snap, kick, up, and good. With 2 seconds to go in the first half, so the Ravens... Well, good news for the Bears. It's still a one-score game. And they will get to start the second half with the football. Their offense has struggled to get it in gear. We'll look at week 11 from 2013. The rain coming down. Thunderstorms. I think they said even tornado warnings in the area. Oh, it's 23-20, not 20-17. Bears won it over. I just noted the Bears won in overtime on a field goal. Ravens 0-3 all time at Soldier Field. Lost in 1998, 24-3. Of course, didn't come without a cause for Chicago's. They weren't able to get a top 5 pick. 2005, lost 10-6. That was also a rainy day in Chicago. I think a game that ended up propelling Chicago to the NFC North. They went on a long winning streak after that. And then 2013, the game we were just talking about. So 1 second left. I'd imagine Fields is just going to take a knee. .26. Yeah, I would not anticipate Justin Fields doing. Oh, well, maybe not. He's in the shotgun. Drops back. Oh, they're just going to run it. I mean, at that point, you might as well have just taken a knee. No sense risking injury if you weren't going to go for the heave. Halfway home in Chi-Town. Your score, Ravens 6, Bears nothing here on your home for the NFL. Oh, jeez. Oh. All right, play 30 minutes in Chicago. Let's quickly go over the first half stats. It will let me. All right, played 30 minutes in Chicago. Ravens up 6-0 on 2 Justin Tucker field goals late in the half. Let's go over the stats. Ravens out first downing the Bears 12-6. Ravens running more plays 40-23. Ravens outgaining the Bears 166-126. Bears, though, with more yards per play, 5.5 to the Ravens 4.2. Ravens outpassing the Bears 102-57. Bears, though, out rushing the Ravens 69-64. Ravens 2 penalties, 10 yards. Bears have yet to get a flag. Bears, though, lost the fumble that led to the first Tucker field goal. Ravens dominating time possession 2019 to 9:41. Let's check out other action in the league. As they're about to get out for the second half. A quick go down of the score. The Carolina tied at 14 between Washington and Carolina. Cam Newton 2 touchdowns, 1 pass and 1 rushing in this return to Carolina. 49ers leading the Jaguars 20-3. Vikings leading the Packers 16-10. Eagles up 20-7 on the Saints. And we're back underway. So I'll just continue to read down the stats as I set up. Sorry, it took too long at halftime. I was getting some food. I was hungry. You can't hear me. What about now? At the Chicago 25. Fields in the shotgun. And it looks like somebody moved. So anyway, let's keep going. Texans up on the Titans 12-0. Tyrod Taylor with a 7-yard touchdown rush. Browns up 13-0 on the Lions. Colts up 24-7 on the Bills. And Dolphins and Jets tied at 7. Fields in the shotgun on 1st and 15. And calls to Montgomery. Getting it back to the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know why you couldn't hear me. All right, 2nd and 10. Fields in the shotgun. Drops back. Looking, pressure coming. And he's going to go down for a loss. Look like 92 was the first one in there. That is Chris Smith. I think Justin Houston contributed as well. Oh, 2nd and 10 now. It's going to be 3rd. Looks like 12. Or maybe Houston was in there first and Smith helped out at the end. 3rd down and 12. Fields in the shotgun. Drops back. Looking, fires, passes, caught! And Mooney up to the 45-yard line. It's going to move the chain. So, Bears making a play on 3rd and long. A little surprising the Ravens didn't get called for unnecessary roughness on that hit at the end. Because it seemed like it would have been something that would have happened to him. But stoppage of play. Campbell a little slow to get up. Let's see what this is all about. As he was trying to get off the field, looked like he came up lame a little bit. It looked like his ankle. So the score alert: Eagles now leading the Saints 27-7 on a Darius Slay 49-yard interception return for a touchdown. Apparently something I didn't know. I didn't know Flacco returned to the Jets. I didn't know he parted ways with the Eagles. Yep, back on the Jets. So I didn't find that out until halftime. Oh, he's starting. Yeah, I heard, I know Wilson's probably done for the year, I think. I know Mike White was injured. But I didn't know they went back to get Flacco. Fields behind center on 1st and 10. Calls to Montgomery, left side, nowhere to go. Might have lost a yard. Yeah, what's going on in Buffalo? The Colts are just having their way with the Bills. You'd think it was like 2001 or something. And one in Buffalo, 18 years. A high school graduating class has come and gone since the last time the Colts won in Buffalo. Fields behind center. Play action. Looking. Fires pass. Incomplete. Try for Komet. Threw it a little too far ahead for Cole Komet. And he took a all right, not as bad as a shot as I initially saw it, but still got a hit. Bears 1 of 4 on 3rd downs. Average yard to go 7.3 yards. This is from 11. Fields in the shotgun. Drops. Looking. Now steps up. Now he's going to take off with it. Yeah, only get it to the 49 of the Ravens. That's not going to cut it, and they're going to have to punt it away. Oh, 4th and 5. O'Donnell set to punt it away. And it kicks away. And DuVernay will fair catch it right around the 15. And that is where the Ravens will take over. 11:22 to go in the 3rd. Ravens 6, Bears nothing. And this is your home for the NFL. Back in Chi-Town, the Ravens taking over at the 15 after forcing another punt by the Bears. Well, let's see what Tyler Huntley and crew can do as he lines up in the shotgun. So, Ravens field goals on last two possessions after 3 punts. Huntley's pass caught by Watkins, getting it out to the 23-yard line. Andrews' third straight season with 50 or more receptions. Call up the gut. This is Murray. And he'll get a first down up to the 31-yard line. Andy Dalton warming up on the sideline, who has been a tormentor to the Ravens throughout his career in Cincinnati. So he might be called in. Justin Fields just hadn't been cutting it. A Bear walking off the field. It's number 91, Eddie Goldman. Huntley in the shotgun. Calls to Murray up the middle. It's about a yard. So, it looks like, oh no, Fields may have gotten injured. That might have been it. Because he's going back to the locker room. And Huntley dropping back. That pass incomplete. But, so it was first attempt at the 32, then second attempt at the 33. So it was a yard off. So again, showing Andy Dalton at some of his best games against the Ravens, including one that sent them home, 2017. I do not care to talk about that game. I will not talk about that. Huntley in the shotgun. Drops, fires, passes. Incomplete over the head of Bateman. He's looking for a flag. They got one! A late flag coming out! I mean, it did look catchable, but I don't know if it mattered. Could still get him for holding. And they got him for interference. So the Ravens drive will stay alive. Kendall Vinder, the guilty party. He tugged the jersey. Oh, yeah, you tugged the jersey. They're going to get you for that every time. So instead of forcing a punt, the Ravens are going to get it at midfield. The fresh set of downs. Huntley behind center. Play action. Looking. Pass is caught, but slipping and falling is Murray. He's going to lose 2 on the play. Yeah, that was catchable, so that's why they threw the flag. Huntley in the shotgun, empty backfield. Drops back, looking. Fires, passes, incomplete. Looks like he was trying for DuVernay. So third down. '49ers just laying it on the Jaguars 27-3. Now the Ravens facing with another third down. It's 3 of 8 on third downs. Average yard to go 8.8 yards. This is 12. Huntley drops back. Pressure coming. Has to scramble to his right. Looking. Fires pass. Incomplete. Was trying for Bateman. And no flags this time. As the penalty does not come back on Chicago. And they're going to have to punt it away. No. Huntley probably could have picked up some yards. I don't know if it would have been enough for the first down. If he kept scrambling, probably could have at least got it into Chicago territory. And when Cook set the punt away, Jakeem Grant waiting the punt. Punt's away. And ball bounce and be down at the 17-yard line. Tylan Wallace. I don't know if he meant to do that, but regardless, it will be first 10 for Chicago at the 17. Andy Dalton taking over for Justin Fields when we get back here on your home for the NFL. Back in Chicago is Andy Dalton stepping in for Justin Fields, who had to go to the locker room. No stranger to the Baltimore Ravens. That's maybe some of his best career moments against them. Opening day 2014. A long touchdown pass to A.J. Green, which helped them to a 23-16 win. And Dalton this year, 37 of 50, 270 yards, a touchdown and interception in 2 starts. 17-yard line. If he's behind center, play action. Looking. Fires, pass is caught. That's Cole Kmet. And he still has to make that number 80. That is Jimmy Graham. And he's going to move the chains. got to at the 40-yard line. That's what it is. Holding in the shotgun. Calls Montgomery to the backfield. Drops a quick pass out. That's caught. That's Mooney. Mooney! Up to the 40! He could! He might! He will! Touchdown Bears! Oh my goodness! Second pass of the game by Andy Dalton, and he's reminding Raven fans everywhere why they hate him. 60 yards to Darnell Mooney. And that was looked like a screen pass. So there you had going 83 yards in 2 plays. As Santos for the point after to give the Bears the lead. Snap, kick, up. Yo, just got it inside the upright. He's back. 8:02 to go in the third. Bears 7, Ravens 6 here on your home for the NFL. Well, Andy Dalton just needs 2 passes to get the Bears into the end zone. A 20-yard completion. A 23-yard completion to Jimmy Graham, and then a 60-yarder to Darnell Mooney. Super 2. Fields was just 4 of 11. And the Bears, for the first time today, have the lead, 7-6, and it kicks away. And DuVernay will return it from about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Gets it out to the 20. That's as far as it will go. So Ravens, for the first time today, playing from behind. Well, let's see how they respond. Look like, judging from the looks of it, Fields might have pulled a rib cage or something. Oh, yep, they're saying ribs. No rush getting back on the field. If Dalton's going to be playing like that, take your time. Huntley in the shotgun. Play action. Looking. Fires, passes, caught. Taken down almost immediately was Freeman at the 23. Score update. Houston. How about Houston? Tyrod Taylor, another touchdown run. This one for 5 yards out. And they're up 19-0. Oh my goodness. The cellar dweller about to shock the leader. I mean, I know the Titans don't have Derrick Henry, but come on. Calls the, looks like Freeman, getting about the 27. Two weeks ago, they went into L.A. on Sunday Night Football and upset the Rams, and now all of a sudden at home, they're being blanked by the Titans. It's just been a crazy season in the NFL. I mean, last Thursday night, the Ravens fell to the Dolphins as Huntley in the shotgun drops back, looking, fires, passes, incomplete, off the hands of Nick Boyle, and not what the Ravens need, a 3 and out after surrendering a touchdown. A little wobbly coming out, but I think Boyle, that was, you got to catch that. You got to catch that, Chief. Cook set the punt away to Jakeem Grant. This is his 5th punt today. And the kick's away. Grant backing up to about the 17. He's going to take it. Left side past the 20. And that's as far as he's going to get as he is swarmed around by Ravens. Bears going back to work. 6:17 to go in the third. It's Bears 7, Ravens 6 on your home for the NFL. Let's go down to score updates here in the third quarter. 6:05 to go in the third. Washington now leading the Panthers 21-14. Now 49ers 27, Jaguars 3. George Kittle receiving touchdown 3 straight games, longest of his career. Vikings shocking the Packers 23-10. Eagles up on the Saints 27-7. I just mentioned Texans up on the Titans. Browns leading the Lions 13-0. Jarvis Landry 16-yard touchdown run. Colts still up on the Bills 24-7. The Dolphins now leading the Jets 14-7. All those games in the third quarter. Back in Chicago, Bears taking over at the 20. As right now, word is Fields questionable return, rib injury. We'll keep you monitored on that. Andy Dalton coming back out. As he's passing yards in the first half. Bears just 57. They've gotten twice that many in the third quarter alone. In fact, more than that on just one pass alone. Dalton in the shotgun. Drops, fires, pass. Incomplete. Ooh, dangerous pass. Try for Jimmy Graham was nearly intercepted by number 36 of the Ravens. That is Chuck Clark. Could have easily came away with an interception there. So treading on dangerous ground right there. And even he knew it. Dalton behind center on 2nd and 10. Calls to Montgomery right side. Getting up to the 25 to the 30. Up to the 31-yard line. That's going to move the chains. Now 1st and 10. Dalton behind center. Play action. Looking. Fires, passes. Incomplete. Looked like Mooney lost it in the sun or something. Oh, no. He threw it right behind him. So just a miscommunication there. 2nd and 10, Dalton in the shotgun. And flags fly, and they're going to get the Bears for a false start. And Larry Baroom, the guilty party. Dalton in the shotgun, drops back, looking, fires, passes, caught. And that's good and right around the 36. So a good chunk of that yardage back. Let's set up 3rd down and 5 upcoming. Dalton in the shotgun, drops back, looks, fires, pass, incomplete. Goodwin, the closest guy to him. I don't think he was trying to throw it to him. And that's going to force another punt for the Bears. Punt by O'Donnell. DuVernay on the return. A little bit of high snap. And it will take a bounce. Bears going to let it bounce inside the 15. They'll down it at the 14-yard line. So not a bad punt there. The Ravens offense trying to get back this game. Both defenses have done a great job today. Aside from one play by the Ravens, the touchdown to Darnell Mooney. But other than that, they have done a great job keeping the Bears offense in check as Huntley's in the shotgun. Drops back, pressure coming, quick! Oh, he slowed him down. I don't think he'll get credit for the sack, but it will be number 91 of the Bears. That is Eddie Goldman will finish the job. I think they're going to call that a 9-yard loss. And that was just a great jump by Robert Quinn. Slowed him down, and Goldman finished the job. Wait, was it Goldman or? Yeah, Goldman. That was right. It'll be 2nd and 18 upcoming. Huntley drops back, fires, passes, caught. Andrews getting out to the 10-yard line. A flag is down. Let's see what this is all about. And they're going to get the Bears for 12 men on the field. And they're looking Houston and Tennessee. As Tennessee finally on the board. Touchdown pass. They still got some work to do. Huntley drops back, fires, caught. Verne getting up to the 21-yard line. So, a little bit of breathing room. Third down and 3 upcoming. Ravens started the game 3 of 6 on third down. Have not converted on their last 4. Huntley in the shotgun. Drops back. Looking. Fires, passes. Caught Andrews. He stretched out. Looked like he got it. As he stretched out for it. Let's see. Did he get it out there before? Yeah, I would say he got that. Unless the elbow hit before he got it. But I think he... No, he got it. He got it. The right call. Huntley in the shotgun. Calls to Freeman up the gut. We'll get about 5 on the play. Ravens have run 54 offensive plays for 197 yards. Bears 36 plays, 261 yards. Ravens have had the ball for over 27 minutes. As Huntley's in the shotgun. Calls to Freeman. Up the gut. It'll be close to the marker. Not quite there. Call it 3rd and 1. Ravens 154.1 rushing yards. Average is so far 86. It's Ricard plowing through the second effort. He'll get the first down up to the 41-yard line. So they had him stopped initially, but he made that last effort, push him across the 40-yard line. Ravens with 16 first downs. The Bears 10. Ravens have ran 20 more offensive plays than the Bears. Oh, 35. My goodness, I am way off. Yards. Huntley drops back, fires, passes, incomplete. Tried for Andrews, but he was covered by Smith and number 57. That is Christian Jones. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. A holding call would have nullified it even if it was caught by Andrews. And the Ravens called for holding. The guilty party was number 70, Kevin Zeitler. Ravens 3 penalties, 20 yards. Bears 4 penalties, 32 yards. This drive, 6 plays, 11 yards total. 4 minutes, 19 seconds. Calls to Murray, left side. No, Huntley keeps it to the right. Getting about 4 yards on the play, we'll call it. What's that? I think everybody, even the cameraman, was fooled. Sliding down. Ooh, Bears might have gotten away with unnecessary roughness. I hit the helmet, but I think it was accidental as that elbow got him. Now they're going to give it to the 30. Huntley in the shotgun. Drops back. Looking. Pressure coming. He's going to go down! So the double team of number 43 and Travis Gibson. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. Buckle up. We're going to have an epic fourth quarter ahead of us. Your score after 3. Bears 7. Ravens 6. And this is your home for the NFL. Score updates from around the NFL. Let's roll out the Carolina. Start of the fourth quarter. Washington up 21-14. Just underway in the fourth quarter. Minnesota Vikings still leading the Packers, but it's now 23-17. Devontae Adams 11 career receiving touchdowns against Minnesota, most in NFL history. Eagles leading the Saints 30-7. Lions on the board. They now only trail 13-7. Colts now leading the Bills 31-7. That with 3 minutes to go in the third. And just under 3 minutes to go in the third. Jets pulling within one. They now trail 14-13. Back in Chicago, start of the fourth quarter. Bears holding a 1-point lead thanks to an Andy Dalton to Darnell Mooney 60-yard touchdown pass in the third quarter. Been the only points for Chicago so far today. While you're seeing Tyler Huntley, Lamar Jackson was declared out with illness. So he's making his first NFL start. Andy Dalton took over in the third quarter after Justin Fields injured his ribs. And that's where we are right now. 3rd and 27. Huntley in the shotgun drops back. Yeah, he's going to try to step up and run, and he's going to get drilled. Hit from behind, and guess who? It's Robert Quinn again. And he has been a nuisance to the Ravens all day. Well, it didn't help. He ran into his own lineman. Just overall play call that should not have been made. Quarterback keeper on 4th and 27. 6th sack of the game for the Bears as Cook set the punt away again. And that will go out of bounds around the 36-yard line. Both defenses have been spectacular. Bears defense doing a good job holding the Ravens out of the end zone. And the Ravens defense, aside from the touchdown pass, they've been pretty good. By the way, it will not be a triple header next week. The Steelers-Bengals does not have Nance and Romo, unfortunately. And I really was banking on that. So Cincinnati will not be making their debut, so I'll probably just call maybe the afternoon game and then the late game. Dalton play action, looking, rolling to his left, looking. Now it's fired, pass is caught. That's Graham. Breaks a tackle. Gets up to about the 42-yard line, so all said and done, a 2-yard gain. So I'll probably call Rams, Packers, and Browns, Ravens if that's still the SNF game next week, so it won't be a triple header. So close. So I know the Baltimore market will air Pittsburgh, Cincinnati over Tennessee, New England. Dalton behind center. Calls to Montgomery. Goes up the middle, maybe for a couple yards. It'll be 3rd and 6. We're coming up on 13 minutes to play here in the game. Bears holding a 1 point. Bears 1 of 6 on 3rd downs. An average yard to go 7.5. This is from 6 yards out. Dalton in the shotgun. They may have got the Ravens jumping first. So this might make it a little bit easier for them. So now it'll be 3rd and 1 as O'Duffy away, the guilty party, a little too overzealous. And they're going to take him out. Ravens 4 penalties, 25 yards. Bears 4 penalties, 32 yards. Dalton now behind center. And drops back, fires the heave! And it's caught with inbounds! No, it's not! Mooney with the great catch, but he couldn't get the feet down, and the Ravens caught a break there. Nope, the right foot came down out of bounds. Good call. Dalton took maybe about 2 inches off of that. That may have been a great catch. It just put it a little too far to the sideline. Let's see what the Bears do here. So they're going to set out the punting unit. O'Donnell to DuVernay. Bear fans like, wait, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. It looked like Matt Nagy getting it. It looked like they're trying to, I don't know what they're doing. Apparently the Bears had used the timeout that I didn't know about. Unless they just used the timeout right there. Nagy seems to be pissed about something. And they're going to reconsider it and then go for it. Tread lightly because you miss it. The Ravens with great field position. The second fewest conversion percentage in the NFL. The Bears are just 3 for 11. Whereas they get obvious solution is they keep the drive going. Montgomery in the Wildcat. And he's going to keep it himself, and he didn't get! He didn't get! But a flag comes in! For the moment, the Ravens had stopped them unless the penalty is on them. And holding offense, so it will be Ravens ball. Oh my goodness. What a stop by the Raven defense. And the Wildcat had no chance there. So the Ravens now great field position. 12:26 to go. Bears still up 7-6, and this is still your home for the NFL. Ravens taking it over with great field position after they stopped the Bears on 4th down. Apparently, the reason why Matt Nagy was getting so upset, his headset stopped working. So, King Savage for pointing that out. And then trying to go for it with a Wildcat, and the Ravens were not fooled at all. The Ravens with a great chance to try to get the lead back. As Huntley's in the shotgun. Low snap, but he was able to corral it. Calls to Freeman. It's about 3 on the play. On tap for these two teams. Bears have a short week. They play Thursday in Detroit for Thanksgiving against the Lions. The Ravens have a Sunday night affair with the Browns at home. Assuming flex scheduling does not meddle with that. Huntley in the shotgun. Fires, passes, caught. That's Andrews. Andrews to the 40, to the 35, up to the 34-yard line. It's going to move the chains. Looks like a screen pass that worked out well. What a day Mark Andrews is having. going to show a stat line? Yes, they are. 9 targets, 8 catches, 73 yards. You say that's a pretty decent day at the office. As Huntley gives it. This is Murray past the 30 to about the 28. 11 minutes to go in the game. Oh, would you look at that? The Packers had come back in the middle of the fourth quarter, take the lead on the Vikings. Oh, my goodness. But they're actually caught 2nd and 4. Huntley in the shotgun. Hand off. This is Freeman left side. He'll get a first down. What's about the 22-yard line? Look at the play that put the Packers ahead. It was who else but Devontae Adams, 18-yard touchdown reception, giving them the lead. The Packers win. They're in. They got a stranglehold on the North right there with a win. Huntley in the shotgun. Calls to Freeman. And he goes nowhere. Second down 10 as we come up on 9.5 to play here in the game. A real tooth and nail battle, contrary to what the Bears played the last time they were on TSR. They were on the wrong side of a 38-3 beatdown. Huntley in the shotgun, rolling to his right. Looking, fires, passes. Incomplete, or is it intercepted? Oh, it's intercepted, but flag is down. For the moment, it's Bears ball. That's number 38. That is Tayshaun Gibson. For the moment, has an interception. And it will be an interception by the Bears. Oh, my. Huntley tried to force it in there. And it ended up being taken away. And what are you really going to go to the end zone and celebrate? Well, let's take a look. Let's see if this is even. Yeah, it's an interception. Okay. But are we really going to have this discussion again? Same thing every week. 10 minutes to go in the fourth. Bears up by 1. And this is your home for the NFL. Bears defense making a play as the Ravens were driving, but seriously, this celebration of turnovers when the game is still going on. Why? Why is this still going on? I've ranted about this. This is probably like my 10th rant about it. This has got to stop. You're not dealing with it anymore. Anyway, Bears' first interception in the last 169 opponent passes. That dates back to week 5 against Vegas. And Dalton in the shotgun on 1st and 10. Calls to Montgomery right side, and he goes nowhere. Scratch that, that's Khalil Herbert. Now look at the interception. He was trying to force it in there to Mark Andrews. And it was just a better play by Gibson. Somehow ripped it out of his hands. So it wasn't so much a bad pass by Huntley or so much a bad decision. It was just a better play by the Bears. Dalton in the shotgun. Drops back, fires, passes, caught right around the 17-yard line, but that's as far as they're going to get, as that is, I couldn't catch the number. Up number 10, that is Demir Bird. They've given the 18, so it'll be 3rd and 6. Come up on 8 minutes to play here in the game. Bears 1 of 7 on 3rd down, so be a crucial 3rd down right here for them. Dalton drops back, looking, fires, passes, incomplete, just out of the reach of Mooney. And after all that, a 3 and out by the Bears. And that is why you do not celebrate turnovers unless they're touchdowns or that finishes the game off. But apparently you all still haven't learned that lesson. I mean, how many more times do I have to go on that rant? Actually, don't answer that question. I know someone out there is going to be a smart ass and play with a really high number. So O'Donnell set the punt away yet again. Kicks away. It might have been partially blocked. So the Ravens going to get good field position off this. The 45-yard line. Let's see. Was it partially blocked? Let's see. Yep, it went off the elbow of number 45. That is Jalen Ferguson, so he got a piece of it. Meanwhile, a member of the Bears is down. As number 20, Duke Shelley, well, he's walking off field on his own power. And at the midway mark of the 4th quarter, a game the Ravens need to try to stay ahead of the AFC North. In a game up on Cincinnati, however, Cincy has the tiebreaker. So, and the Ravens the rest of the way do not have an opponent, at least at the moment, below 500. So they're going to have to fight and claw for that title this time around. Huntley in the shotgun, drops back, fires, passes, caught. That's Freeman. Freeman passed the 40 about the 38-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play. Huntley 23 of 33, 163 yards, but an interception. Freeman 5 catches, 25 yards. 2nd and 3. Huntley behind center. Calls the Murray. Trying to plow ahead. He might have gotten a yard. Oh, they actually caught 3rd and 1. The Bears need a stop right here more than the Ravens need to convert. Huntley in the shotgun. Calls to Murray. Murray looked like he got it. Kept churning until he got to the marker. Ravens with 19 first downs. Bears 10. Oh, 5:50 to play in the game, so each play is critical. Calls to Freeman right side. Freeman to the 30. Oh, they're going to call it the 31 actually, so it would be 2nd and 4. Around 29, not 31. So the Ravens, they're trying to take as much clock as they can off. But though it's to go, it's going to be a tough task to do, so they got to just focus on getting points. Huntley in the shotgun. Calls to Freeman. Cuts it back to the left side. He gets taken down behind the line. As number 99 of the Bears, that is Gibson. Takes him down for a loss of a yard. So now another 3rd down upcoming. And again, the Bears needing a stop more than the Ravens need a conversion. However, this was the same side of the field. Santos missed the field goal. And it calls to Freeman. And Freeman getting up to the 28, so short. So right now it'd be about a 46-yard try for Tucker. However, remember, this was the same side. Santos missed from 40 yards and it is from the right hash. So see how Tucker approaches this. And this is to give the Ravens the lead. And here we go. Snap. Kick. Up. And got it! Snuck it inside the upright, and the Ravens regained the lead with 3:41 to go. We got a good one down the wire here. 3:41 to go. It's Ravens 9, Bears 7, and this is your home for the NFL. Ravens coming up big with a field goal from 46 yards from Tucker, and now they hold a 9-7 advantage. Let's see what the Bears can do with 2 timeouts left and just under 4 minutes to go. Dalton has done it before against the Ravens, rallying to get a victory. And the kick's away by Tucker. And there'll be no return. So Bears mostly have to go 75 yards to take the lead, which they only need a field goal. It's been a defensive battle. Both defenses doing a stellar job. Bears holding the Ravens out of the end zone. And the Ravens, aside from one play, keeping the Bears in check. Let's see if they can do it for one more drive. Dalton in the shotgun. Drops back. Looking. Fires. Pass knocked down at the line. Score update. Looks like the Vikings regained the lead with just over 2 minutes to go. Cousins to Jefferson for 23 yards out. It's 31-24. That would definitely make the North race a little more interesting if the Vikings can pull it off. Dalton in the shotgun. Drops back. Fires. Pass is caught. And that's Komet up to the 37-yard line. And great job by Cole Komet making the catch and then getting a little more afterwards. Dalton in the shotgun. Drops back. Looking. Fires. Passes. Took a bounce. It's incomplete. Trying for Mooney. 2nd and 10. Yeah, it looked like that bounced off the ground. If that bounced off his fingers, I think they need to examine them. Anyway, 3:08 to go in the game. Dalton in the shotgun. Empty backfield. Drops back. Fires pass. Incomplete. And went right through the hands of a receiver. And now it's 3rd and 10. I think this is going to be 4-down territory because right through the hands of Goodwin because they only have 2 timeouts, although they still have the 2-minute warning. If they had all 3 of their timeouts, you might have been able to argue that they could put it away and get a stop on defense, but because you have 2 timeouts left, even with the 2-minute warning, I feel like you have to go for it on 4th down. Dalton in the shotgun. Drops back. Looking. Checks it down. That's Montgomery to the 40. Up to about the 45 to the 46. He's going to be just short. And decision time for Matt Nagy. Well, you went for it on 4th down. One pretty much around this area earlier in the quarter. I don't see why you wouldn't hear. This could be the game right here. Dalton in his shotgun. Austin Montgomery's got a... No! They blew it dead. Montgomery had the 1st down, but they might have gotten the Bears for a false start. Dalton's not happy. Breathe. Breathe. Oh, the Ravens called a timeout, so well played by John Harbaugh. Oh, I think he's timed that one right. So again, ball at the 46. This is the ball game right here. Dalton in the shotgun. Roll to his left. Fires. Passes. Caught. And that's going to be a 1st down into Raven territory by Mooney. For the moment, the Bears still alive. Let's see if they run one more play before the 2-minute warning. Field goal range for Santos is around the 35, so they got to get 13 more to be in his range. Dalton in the shotgun, drops, fires, passes, caught. That's Mooney. Get to the 45. You think he got out of bounds, but it's not going to matter. It's going to be the 2-minute warning anyway. Can your heart handle this? 1:58 to go in the game. Ravens up by 2. The Bears are driving, and this is your home for the NFL. Check out scores elsewhere in the NFL. As the Bears, the Packers and Vikings now tied at 31 with just over 2 minutes to go. All right, here we go. Just over 3 minutes to go in the fourth. Washington leading Panthers 24-21. Just over 2 minutes to go. I just mentioned Packers Vikings side. 9:12 to go in the fourth. Eagles 33. The Saints 19. 3:58 to go in the fourth. Titans closing the gap. They're now down 19-13. They got the ball at the 26. 4:39 to go in the fourth in Cleveland. Browns 13. Lions 10. 4:49 to go in the game in Buffalo. Colts 41, Bills 15, and 4:25 to go in the fourth in the Meadowlands. Dolphins up 21-14. Meanwhile, back in Chicago, Bears have it at the Raven 45. 2nd and 7 upcoming. As the Bears trying to become the 15th team to register a win on TSR. They're 0-1. They failed on their first try. Well, they're actually going to call it 2nd and 6 from the 44. Dalton in the shotgun. Ravens trying to make it 2 in a row on TSR. Drops back. Looking. Fires the heave! Just a little too far for Bird. As he takes about 6 inches off that. That's right on the money. A final, the 49ers defeat the Jaguars 30-10. The Niners on a 2-game winning streak right now in the thick of the playoff race. Hard to believe. I felt like they've been struggling this season, but what do you know? Right in the middle of it. Bears struggles on 3rd down, continue 1 for 9. And this is a critical one right here. Dalton drops back, fires, passes. Caught! Oh my goodness! No, it's not! On a great effort by Mooney, but it's going to go for naught. Let's take a look. Oh, it came out. As he was trying to haul it back into his body. And now, so now the ball game right here. Yeah, he could not haul it in. This is the game. And it looks like Dalton needs a timeout. And what a game it's been. Ravens stop them here. That's going to pretty much do it. They could run the clock. Bears need a first down here to keep it alive, but oh, ball number 46. 44. On in the shotgun, empty backfield. Now calls Montgomery back. And oh, they got the Bears on a false start, so that's going to make life a lot more difficult for Dalton and the Bears. Jason Peters picking the wrong time to commit a false start. So now 4th and 11, Dalton in the shotgun. Drops back, looking, fires the heave. It's good! Goodwin, touchdown Bears! Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness! But a late flag comes in. I may be kidding you, actually. Let's see. Could have been interference on the offense. He did have a lot of separation. Oh, it's going to stand. It's going to be roughing the passer. But it's not going to matter. As the Bears get a touchdown. Well, Dalton did this to the Ravens 4 years ago to eliminate him from the playoffs as he hit Tyler Boyd on 4th down with the game on the line. And he does it again right here unless Huntley could come back. Oh, yeah, hit him late. So even if this didn't go, that was going to be a rough in the pass. The drive would have still been alive. And now the Bears have to use their final timeout. I mean, I would think they'd go for 2 right here. They sent out the kicker. But I think you got to go for 2. Because if they score a touchdown, you still have a chance to preserve a tie. If they miss or you block the extra point. And they are going to go for 2. Dalton coming in relief for Justin Fields. 10 of 20, 178 yards and 2 touchdowns. As this last one from 49 yards from Dalton to Marquise Goodwin. And for the Bears, this will be their first 2-point try this season. From the 1-yard line. Dalton in the shotgun. Rolling to his right, fires, passes, incomplete. So the Ravens still have a shot with a touchdown. With 101 seconds left. But another look at the touchdown pass from Dalton to Marquise Goodwin. And as he torched Chris Westry. Vikings just took the lead on a field goal. Well, Tyler Huntley, his first NFL start, has a chance to try to see if he can lead a game-winning touchdown drive. We saw it 3 weeks ago with Cooper Rush and the Dallas Cowboys. So could we see it again with Tyler Huntley and the Baltimore Ravens? Santos will kick it away. And DuVernay from the 2-yard line. Gets it up to the 20, to the 25. And gets it up to the 28-yard line. So the Ravens have to go 72 yards in 93 seconds. They're wishing they could haul Lamar Jackson out on the field to guide him, but unfortunately, illness is not going to allow that. So Tyler Huntley, it's going to be on him. People in Pittsburgh watching, and maybe even, well, maybe not Cincinnati because they're not able to get this. Huntley in the shotgun. Drops back, looking, fires, passes. Oh, not quite, but a flag comes out. Was nearly intercepted by number 26. That is Deion Bush. A flag came in. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. It was pass interference. That's going to put the Ravens in great position. And it's Vildor again. Oh, that's how it almost ended up being intercepted because of a penalty. .127 to go. Huntley in the shotgun. Looking, fires, passes, caught. That's DuVernay. He got out of bounds at the 30-yard line. If DuVernay hadn't lost his footing a little bit, he might have been able to cut it back in and run it in for a touchdown. Huntley in the shotgun, empty backfield, drops back, looking, pressure coming. Able to get a yard out of that. But the clock's still running. Oh, get it 2nd and 8 from the 28. Huntley in the shotgun, drops back. Looking, fires, passes, caught. Freeman able to get away from one tackle and gets it up to the 22. We'll set up 3rd down and 2. Now Huntley in the shotgun, 36 seconds to go. Drops back, looking, fires, pass, incomplete. DuVernay could not haul it in, and now 4th down in the game right here. The late flag comes in. Oh, it's going to be holding offense. And they're going to actually push him back, and might not be a bad idea. It's 4th and 2. It's a little more manageable. Let's see if they can try to make it 4th and a little bit longer. There's 33 seconds left. The Ravens with 2 timeouts. The playbook's still open. Huntley in the shotgun. Drops back. Looking. Pressure coming. Fires. Passes. Caught! Watkins inside the 5, but he stayed in bounds. It's going to be first and goal, but the Ravens, I think they're going to call a timeout. And with the pressure coming, Huntley able to get the pass off to Sammy Watkins. Ravens right now on the doorstep. "25 seconds left. The Ravens have it first and goal, actually at the 3-yard line. Huntley in the shotgun. Calls to Freeman. Freeman, touchdown Ravens! They have the lead with 22 seconds left. Oh my goodness! A big third down conversion helped keeping the drive alive. I don't think it would have mattered even if they declined the penalty and had been fourth down. They still would have been able to. They still would have converted. Tucker for the point after. Snap, kick, up and good. With 22 seconds left. And fans, except for maybe the few thousand wearing the purple, just in a state of shock. And the Ravens, who have lived on the edge all season long, whether it be in victory or defeat, they've had 4 wins in which they've had to either claw back or sweat out. So 22 seconds, but they got to be careful because all it takes is one big play to put them in field goal range. And Tyler Huntley, unless the Bears could get into field goal range or make a big play, score the winning touchdown, may have executed his first game-winning drive in his first NFL start. Most wins after trailing this season, only Green Bay with more at 6. Ravens right now at 5. It could be 6 right here if they can hold on. The Browns hold on to beat the Lions 13-10. Washington defeats the Panthers 27-21. Kicks away. 75 yards stand between the Bears and overtime or even victory. So they got to go 40 yards to get into Santos's range. That missed field goal so far looking more and more crucial. Dalton in the shotgun. Drops back. Looking. Fires. Passes. Incomplete. Trying for Mooney. 18 seconds to go. Oh, man, I feel like I've already killed my voice, and I still got 2 more games to call. Dalton in the shotgun. Drops back. Looking. Fires incomplete. Or is it? The Ravens are running it in as if it was a fumble, but they've already said incomplete. I just didn't see the ref make a signal, so... Oh! Oh, they are going to give it to him! That might do it! I couldn't even believe it! Well, let's see. I mean, it's going to be tough. From the looks of it, it looked like his arm went forward. So right now, this is under review. I mean, this is the game right here. Let's listen in. Give my voice a rest.
And watch, Andy is about to throw an interception. Going to play that. And right, he sees on this out route, oh, shoot. I'm going to throw an interception. And he lets it. And he tries to hang on. The ball squirts out of his hands. He's like, oh, no, stop.
I mean, his hand went forward. Up there, they are going to take it off the board. So, no. I think it was the right call. I thought his arm moved forward. I just didn't see a signal from the ref. So, I mean, the Ravens did the right thing, picked it up and kept going, because you never know. They got 14 seconds. They got to go at least 40 yards to get in the field goal range. Ravens got players backed up to as far as midfield. Dalton drops back. Looking. Nobody coming. He's got all sorts of time. He'll fire it. Pass is caught. He's got to get to the sideline. He will. That's Goodwin up to the 48. So we'll at least set up a more reasonable Hail Mary for Dalton. Maybe the Ravens played that a little too conservatively. Four seconds left, so this is the game right here. Ravens getting players backed up to as far as their 15. And this is the game right here. Dalton drops back. Looking. Look at the pressure coming. He got him! And the Ravens can tack it on! Oh my goodness! Tyus Bauer finishes the job, and the Ravens will stay atop the AFC North! Woo! Your final in Chicago. Ravens 16, Chicago 13. Don't go anywhere. Game 2's coming up. But for right now, this is Colin the Fanatic signing off.